Hi, how are you doing? This is IBM-i By Doing. Welcome to IBM-i By Doing, a series of video sessions in which we do hands-on projects programming the IBM-i Midrange computer. I'm Madhu Vasudevan with over 20 years of IBM-i work experience at your service. The target audience is newbie programmers who want to learn RPG-4 or RPG ILE on IBM-i. We will mount our RPG bikes right on top of the Subfile hill and slide down the valley of data file processing in RPG-4 ILE. Just follow along. Working along with me, you will be able to do this. Early in this series, we will tackle the fabled RPG subfile, and we will create every possible variation of the subfile. We will create physical files, logical files, display files, printer files, and of course the RPG ILE programs to handle all these files. We will create some information display screens, some data entry screens, and generate some reports. Welcome to this session on RPG-4 ILE programming. In this virtual life on the cloud, you are a crossing guard with the Hogsmeade Railroad Station. Besides escorting newbie schoolers to the Hogwarts School of Magic, you have to build the computer interface for Muggle parents who want the train's departure information at Hogwarts.com. The Load All Subfile Inquiry program created in previous hands-on sessions was not responsive enough for some Muggle parents. They couldn't wait to see the train's information until after all train records had been loaded onto the subfile. You need to speed up inquiry response times by coding an inquiry subfile program which loads only one additional page at a time until all data records have been loaded. In this clairvoyant revelation, we will conjure up magical visions to review the logical file to access trains information city-wise, create a display file with a subfile for inquiring on the train's information by showing a request screen, create an inquiry load page on demand subfile program to pull up the train's information after inputting the city name, run the inquiry subfile program for a specific city or for all cities, query the train's physical file to verify inquiry program output. Our subfile inquiry program will allow Muggles to look up multiple train records in one screen. The search screen will accept a center name as input. After entering a center name, the Muggle will press the enter key. Our program will pull up one page full of records of trains going to that center. If the Muggle hits the enter key without inputting a center name, our program will pull up one page full of records of trains going to any and all the centers sorted alphabetically. If the plus sign is shown at the bottom and the Muggle hits page down key, our program will pull up one more page of train records. This process can be continued until all requested data records have been loaded to subfile pages. After the last requested record has been loaded to the subfile, the plus sign will not show at the bottom of the last page. If user presses page down key when there is no plus sign shown, error message is shown and keyboard is locked. Finally, F3 may be pressed to quit the inquiry program and end the inquiry session. The city-wise trains information may be viewed by directly querying the physical file. We will run the query command on the physical file train set with the record select parameter set to view the records for specific centers. We will thus verify that our inquiry subfile is indeed working correctly. To keep me motivated to produce more of better quality free content, please subscribe to this channel. Hit the like button below, leave a comment or two, and share this video with your colleagues, friends, and other IBM-i enthusiasts. Hit the bell icon below to actively follow along with the rest of our series. Let's review the logical file to access train information city-wise. Let's connect to an IBM-i. For the purpose of this free educational video, I'm using the free access given by the kind folks at pub400.com. You can sign up for free with a valid verifiable email ID. The link is in this video's description. For the client, I am using the TN5250 emulator from sourceforge.net project TN5250. It is a free download and that link is also in this video's description. But feel free to use any emulator or client access available to you. Launch the Client 5250 terminal emulator, sign on to the IBMi, expand to full screen, check your library list. From the IBMi command line, key in the command DSP-LIBL and hit enter. Note your current library. I will change mine to my second library, which I will use exclusively for this project. Hit F3 to return to command line. Key in the command change current lib, your project library, and hit enter. Note the message that your current library has been changed. Verify that by keying in the command DSP-LIBL again and hitting enter. Hit F3 to return to command line. To ensure that your IBMi uses the dot and not the comma as the decimal point, from the command line key in the command change job, decimal format within brackets, star blank, and hit enter. Our page at a time inquiry subfile program will be using the logical file transitl to pull up the trains information for the centers requested by the user. In a previous hands-on session on coding the load all inquiry subfile program, we had created the logical file transitl based on the physical file train set. Let us review the schema of the logical file transitl. Key in the command strpdm and hit enter. Take option 3 to work with source code members. Ensure file name is qdds-src and the library is your project library and hit enter. Now you are inside the Program Development Manager PDM. The member holding the schema of the logical file transitl should be listed. Browse the member transitl by keying in a 5 and hit enter. Note that the only record format specified, trnrec, is the same as the record format of the physical file train set. The record level keyword pfile creates this logical file on the physical file train set. Since no field names have been specified, all the fields from the underlying physical file train set will be accessible through this logical file. The keys specified are the center first and train number next. Hence, this logical file will order the records center-wise ascending and within each center, train number-wise also ascending. Press F3 to exit the SEU browse session. Press F3 till you're back in the main menu. Check out the logical file object transitl. Key in the command dsplib, your project library, and hit enter. You should see the logical file object transitl. F3 out of the display. Let's examine the logical file object. Key in the command display file description, your project library /transitl, and hit enter. Scroll up a few pages and note the record format name, the key field name, etc. At the very bottom, note that the data physical file train set underlying this logical file is also listed. The actual data will be held in this physical file's member. Press F3 to exit the display. Let's examine the fields in the logical file transitl. Key in the command display file field description, your project library /transitl, and hit enter. Scroll up beyond the record format name and note the field names, attributes, lengths, and positions. Press F3 to exit the display. Let's see what data is in the underlying physical file. Key in the command run query *n your project library /train set and hit enter. As expected, Our physical file train set has the records that we had keyed in with our data entry subfile program in previous hands-on sessions. They are ordered by the train number field. Press F3 to exit the display. Let's see what data is in the logical file transetl. Key in the command run query *n your project library /transetl and hit enter. As expected, our logical file transetl has the same records as the physical file train set, but they are ordered by train number within the centers. Press F3 to exit the display. Having reviewed the logical file to access trains information city-wise, let's create a display file with a subfile for inquiring on the train's information. The display file creation process on the IBMi is similar to any data or device file creation process. First, we need to create a source code schema of the display file. We will add another member in the source physical file qdds-src. In the command line, key in the command work member pdm and hit enter. You should be in the source physical file qdds-src in your project library. The member holding the schema of the logical file transetl should be listed. Press F6 to create another member in qdds-src. Key in source member name train q2 for train inquiry 2. Tab over, key in source type DSPF. Field exit to the description field. Key in the description load page on demand to subfile within brackets SFL size greater than SFL page and hit enter. Source physical file member train q2 is open and ready for the schema of the display file train q2. Instead of using SEU to create the layout of a display file, it is better to use the Screen Design Aid SDA, where you can graphically design the layout screen interactively. But using SEU is a quick and dirty way to create a simple display file, especially when you are learning the file, record, and field level keywords. Note the column specification ruler in the topmost row. Use right arrow key to move the cursor under A, then move it one more column to the right, then use down arrow key to move cursor to the very last line. Key in a star and hit enter. You have created a comment line. Up arrow next to the star and key in the comment end of specifications. Note that the letters are all in uppercase. Press Shift plus F1 to change session defaults. Against the uppercase input only, press N and hit enter. Press Home key to get cursor to command line on top. Move cursor to first input line under column A. Press two star symbols for comment and key in load page on demand to subfile within bracket subfile size greater than subfile page. In the next line under column functions, key in the file level keyword INDARA. This will set aside a separate indicators area buffer for this display file. In the next line under column functions, key in CA03 within bracket 03 space text F3 equals exit to enable F3 key. In the next line under column functions, key in CA12 within brackets 12 space text F12 equals cancel to enable the F12 key. In the next line under column functions, key in ref within bracket train set for the field reference file name. In the next line under the column spec A, key in 2 stars and the comment record format of initial inquiry screen. Tab over to the line number column and key in F and hit enter. Note the appearance of the column specifications ruler. In the next line, under column specification T, key in the entry type R, and under column name, key in the record format name CNTRINQ. Next line, under column functions, key in the record level keyword blink. Next line, under column line, key in the number 1. Under the column positions, key in the number 28. Under functions, key in the constant within quotes center inquiry. Next line, under column line, key in the number 3. Under positions, key in the number 2. Under functions, key in the constant within quotes, type metro, then enter. Next line, under column name, key in the field name, center NO for center name. Under length, key in a 6. Under type, key in an A for alphanumeric. Under column B, key in a B for both input and output. Under line, key in number 5, and under position, key in number 24. Next line, under the first conditioning indicator, key in N90. Same line, under functions, key in display attribute within brackets underline. Tab over to the number column, up 1 arrow, key in an RP for repeat and hit enter. In the new line, under functions, change the display attribute to highlight. Next line, under the first conditioning indicator, key in a 90. Same line, under the functions column, key in error message within brackets, within quotes, center not found, space indicator number 90. Next line, under line, key in number 23. Under position, key in number 2. Under functions, key in the constant within quotes F3 equals exit, double space, F12 equals cancel, and hit enter. You have keyed in the record format of initial inquiry screen. Having reviewed the logical file to access trains information city-wise, let's create a display file with a subfile for inquiring on the train's information. To keep me motivated to produce more of better quality free content, please subscribe to this channel. Hit the like button below, leave a comment or two, and share this video with your colleagues, friends, and other IBMi enthusiasts. Hit the bell icon below to actively follow along with the rest of our series.